He had every single opportunity to become the number one of this team. This team wanted him to be the number one. We're sitting here pre-season. I'm like, holy shit, I can't wait to see Wolfie start. And you're like, bro, I don't think they're going to start Dustin Wolf game one. And I'm like, are you crazy?
The team seems to play better in front of Wolf, but I think half that statement's correct. No, the full statement correct. The key word here is, though, seems to play better in front of Wolf. But I think the biggest difference is with Wolf, because how many times have you seen it? It's almost nightly. It's definitely weekly. Holy fuck, Wolf is sure keeping him in the game. First period, they got dominated. You walk out with a 1-0 lead, or 0-0 still. Whereas with Vladar in the net, you're always playing behind the 8 ball because he just can't. Look, we've gone through the stats. We've gone through the metrics of comparing the two goaltenders throughout the whole entire season. Dustin Wolf is above the horizontal line, well above it. Tops in the leagues in terms of saving those extra goals. Expected goal saves, the goals that he shouldn't be saving, he's still saving. Whereas Vladar is on the bottom, the other side of the horizontal line and way down there. And that's the difference. That's why it seems like the team plays better, because they don't actually. Dustin Wolf's, he faces more high danger scoring chances. So it's not an actual truth, but the truth is that, yes, it seems like the team plays better in front of them, but it just seems like whenever Vladar's in net, they're behind the 8 ball. And I think it's because it's
because of Vladar.
The strength in goaltending is just there's a huge chasm.
There's no comparison. And it's funny that we're even like, everyone's like coming to this realization like in the last week, where it's like, oh yeah, it's like, I'm really glad we spent the first fucking
oh my god, dude,
2 months of the year arguing about this, and everyone's like, yeah, I guess he's not that good. It's like, yeah,
and the whitewashing of the media has finally stopped. Now they're like, oh, we feel so bad for Dan Vladar.
I know.
So why?
Why? He had every single opportunity. Well, that's the thing. Game one, every benefit of the doubt he gets. He's starting. They gave him every single opportunity to earn the number one.
Dude, they made Dustin Wolf fight tooth and nail to prove himself, and he just showed up time and time again.
And all he had to do was just keep.
How many games are
records?
It was so obvious from the onset of the season. And how many games into the season are we now? And finally, the coaching staff and the media are like, yeah, okay, Dustin Wolf better.
Yeah, he's the
Venn diagram is obvious now. We actually stand a better chance to win if Dustin Wolf's in net.
Well, this thing where it's like, oh, they don't play as well in front of Vladar. I think compare the Buffalo game or the Minnesota game and the Winnipeg game are a good example of that. Like, I thought the Flames played pretty well in both games, but at key moments in the game when you needed to save,
timely,
he's making those saves, right? And then when it's 2-1, you fight your way back. You have a bit of a tough start against Winnipeg. They got some skill, but I think you were playing okay. And then the Velarde goal, which I think was the 3-1 goal, it's like, if that isn't like, that's a bad goal, he's way out of position. That's a bad goal. It's not even that Wolf would have stopped that goal. It's like, even if that was a dangerous chance, like 9 times out of 10, Wolf is stopping that at that moment in the game. So that's really
the timeliness of it, right?
It's like
if you want to stand any chance to mount a comeback in that game, that can't go in. As soon as that 3-1 goal goes in, game's over.
It's a big giant fart.
But like, let's be honest, because that's historically what separates the champs, the winners, from average, right?
100%.
I mean, you watch some football on the weekend, Patrick Mahomes, same thing. Just think the timeliness of clutch when it matters the most, and the best players in the world they just have it bred into their DNA. They're just like, everything's riding on this moment, the game, TSN turning point. Am I going to make the play? Am I going to make the save? Yeah, I don't know. Even that Scheifele goal, like Vladar looked so out of sorts on that, the 5th goal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're just like, this is kind of looking embarrassing at the moment. Yeah. I get it. The guy's lost the number one net, even though I don't think he should have had it to begin with. Can't get a win. Sure, he's playing the harder team on the second half of back-to-back. There's no excuse, though, dude. Yeah. Like you said, 4 years now. I think Pinder was talking about this too. It's just like the guy's been given all the opportunity. At what point now should we start banging the drum to see Cooley up here?
Yeah, I think you're getting pretty close to that. Well, it's funny because like a few weeks ago, even a few months ago, it's like, well, they should re-sign him. This is a formidable goaltending tandem. The save percentage of the team is great. It's definitely not inflated by the guy who's got what 912, 915 save percentage, and the guy who's got sub 900 save percentage. Again, this isn't shit on Vladar hour, but yeah, it's been 4 years. He had a great first season.
No, it's fucking reality check hour.
Exactly. He had a great first season behind a juggernaut team and has been terrible ever since. He was terrible in 22-23. He was terrible last year. He's been terrible this year. And that's just the reality. He's a backup goaltender in this league. And he should have been treated as such from the beginning of the year, but now it's super clear for everybody.
So as of today, we're recording here Monday, January 27th. The Flames are still in a playoff spot. 3 points up over Vancouver. Same games played. 48 games played, 24 wins. You got 55 points. I was just pulling up the Money Puck. Did you see that Money Puck updated how they create their they updated, what do you call it?
They updated their model. So like for playoff odds, what goes into account for their playoff odds. Because if you follow Money Puck for a while, some of their playoff odds, people get their panties in a bunch about this quite a bit. It's like, and they see their team has poor playoff odds, but it really has just been mostly based on like, I think expected goals, but I think they've made a change that weights goaltending higher now.
Yep.
So based on the performance of the team's current goalie, that'll impact the playoff odds more. And it was funny because like you're saying, they had their like overnight, the Flames playoff odds after they changed their model, like went up like what? Double almost. It was like 30 or 40%, and then it shot up to like 65% overnight because of this new model.
And then they released this little, well, it's not a giant statement, but they basically say, yeah, the model has changed due to weighing goaltending in as a higher weight in the model. And good old Chris Jones texts me, he's like, is this because of Dustin Wolf? And I happen to think it is.
He's changing the league, bro.
He's changing the league.
He's changing.
He's not only changing the record book, he's just changing the way hockey's looked at. It's a word from our sponsor, Bet365, the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Download the app today. Use code NATION when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Put it out there in the last couple things, and not like in a serious way. We're just kind of like, if you're talking about MVPs in the league, Dustin Wolf should be in the conversation. And you know, most Flames fans have their reception to be positive, but there's a lot of like, oh, you guys fucking crazy. Oh, you can't.
Oh, to lunch. Oh, to lunch.
But it's like, oh, this past week, you're kind of starting to see this. Like, people are like, yeah, like the Flames fucking, like it kind of came to the realization when they beat Minnesota. And I don't know if Vancouver hadn't played yet, but it was like the Calgary Flames are at that point, they were 5 points up on the Vancouver Canucks for the final wild card spot.
Well, this is just after Wolf single-handedly beats the Jets, the juggernaut Jets single-handedly.
And I mean, he beat the Jets. I mean, even in the Sabres game, like that wasn't like the Flames' best showing of all time, right? It wasn't like a defensive clinic by any means. It was a freaking rope-a-dope game, and he only lets in 2 goals in that game. And then it was like, holy shit, the Flames are fight. Like people are kind of like starting to notice that it's like, how are they what the shit? How are they doing this? And
let's take a look under the hood here.
People are realizing that it's legitimately like a one-man show right now. It's been crazy.
Let's take a look at the hood. Under the hood. Oh, there. Okay, so under the hood, you have Huberdeau leaving this team with 36 points. And it's no slight on Huberdeau. The guy's having a decent
season. A good year, but
I mean, Robert Munich posted this earlier today. It's Huberdeau leads. Remember they had this stat early, like 13 games in. It was Rasmus Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it on the show, but Huberdeau leads the league in. How do you even word this?
He's like the highest scoring player.
36
among players who lead their team in scoring. He has the fewest amount of points.
Yeah.
So the Flames have the lowest point scoring leading score of any team in the league right now.
So no team leading player has less points than the Calgary Flames leading team player, which is Huberdeau with 36. Next closest is Horvat with 37 points.
Are any of these teams in the playoffs?
Here's your teams. Calgary with the lowest. Then the Islanders at 37 points. Seattle, McCann, 38. Anaheim, Buffalo, St. Louis, San Jose, Chicago. What do all these teams have in common?
They're in the fucking toilet.
You do have
LA and Washington.
Dallas, Ottawa. That's further down the list, though. I mean, as far as.
But what kind of players do those guys have? Like,
and what kind of groups, right?
Right. Like Washington's, they have one of the best goalies in the league, and they got Ovi. Like some of those guys are going. LA is obviously a very and then I think I texted you before the Minnesota game because Ball gets hurt or before the Winnipeg game because Ball gets hurt in Minnesota, and like the D pairings are like Anderson. Was it Anderson and Bean, Miramanov and Uyghur, or Anderson and Henley, Miramanov, Uyghur, Pahal, and Bean? And it's like, how the fuck is this team? How the actual fuck is this team in the playoffs? Wow.
One guy alone. Have you seen this Adam guy on Twitter?
Is he the we got to trade Rasmus Anderson?
Yeah, and he's like the team tank god.
Yeah,
like not even the team tank commander or king.
Is he like God. One of these guys that's like mad that like he doesn't want Wolf?
Whenever I post the Dustin Wolf stat, he's like, "Fuck Dustin Wolf." He's the only reason why we're not going to get elite talent. And it's so true though. Without Dustin Wolf doing what he's doing, this team's in the easily bottom 5.
Oh yeah, it's not even.
There's no other team metric that suggests anything otherwise. And you got your leading scorer has 36 points, which is good for the lowest point leader in the league.
No, bro. We talked about this last week, right? Only top bottom team in goals for per game in a playoff spot.
But it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, well, is this good? Is this bad? I think the good side of it is that Dustin Wolf is on your team next season. Dustin Wolf was on your team indefinitely.
The good part of it, you want elite talent, you got an elite goalie.
And that's the thing, right? It's like, that's always my pushback of like, screw Dustin Wolf. We need to get elite talent. Dustin Wolf is the elite talent. Hands down, bar none. Like, it's here, current. So it's a guy you need to build around. We talked about this too on the show. Is just like, there's GMs, they have different strategies how they like to build. One likes to start with the 1C, one wants to start with the 1D. But there's old school GMs. GMs have built teams from the goaltender out before. It's not crazy.
Yeah, it's not crazy. And I just keep thinking about, I don't know. And I just can't believe he's a rookie. Like, I didn't expect him to come in, the biggest Wolf fan in the world. I don't think I expected him to come in and be this good.
Not this
and
good.
This solid and
heart conversation.
It's insane. It's just so crazy. And all I can think, it's like, and not just to piggyback off something you said earlier, not to just shit on Markstrom, but like that to me is the most encouraging thing, Markstrom, because you said it, like he makes the big saves, right? And that is what separates like championship goalies from not championship goalies, because that's what I've noticed the most. It's not even just the goals allowed per game, it's that he makes the big saves when you need him. Like, how many times, even though Markstrom was okay here, like overall, like how many this guy had a penchant. He's made a career in Calgary out of letting in fucking back-breaking goals. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's just
backbreaker after backbreaker, first shot. So you just get a lead.
We're down 1-0 on the first shot of the game again. Here we go.
So that's what's really, I think, been the most impressive part, and the most like I'm looking forward in the future being like, this is amazing, because if we have a clutch goalie like this, like this could change
your ability and your pedigree just to win games. The guy just wins games.
Just like wins, right?
Justin Wolf rolls out of bed, wins a hockey game. Like, he's 22-7-2 in his last 31 starts on a team where your leading scorer is Jonathan Huberdeau with 36 points, good for the lowest leading scorer in the league. It's insane that Wolf is 22-7-2 in his last 31 starts on an otherwise completely mediocre roster.
It's actually crazy, and people don't really realize how crazy it is.
Like, I think it would be stellar if he was 16-9-1.
Dude, if he was
fucking 22-7,
if he was 500, I'd be like, yeah, good rookie season here.
the guy is good enough to put you in a playoff spot now. It's unbelievable.
It is unreal.
He's even good enough to outplay and mask Huska's terrible lineup decisions.
Dude, they're winning game. Oh, 100%. They're winning games in spite of Huska's galaxy braining weird lineup decisions all the time. It's just like, yeah, Wolf. He's just like writing in his notebook the most fucking absurd lineup combinations you've ever seen in your life. Did you see that? I think somebody tweeted that. It's like after the Longbow fight, all the boys are like jacked up. I'm jacked up. Boys like, fuck yeah, let's like go pants the Huska. And he's like,
didn't even watch the fight.
Was there a fight? I was just working on my times tables. 9 times 9.
Just galaxy brain the next stupid lineup decision.
Send Karen's down. Rooney, more ice time.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.